This presentation on controlling pests in your home is from Stop Pests in Housing, a program funded by HUD's Office of Lead Hazard Control and Healthy Homes through an interagency agreement with the USDA's National Institute of Food and Agriculture. For more information about Stop Pests or to find out more about managing pests with Integrated Pest Management, or IPM, you can visit stoppests.org. Today, we're going to talk about the health and safety concerns associated with pests and pesticides we use to control them, and how we can protect our homes from an infestation. I encourage you to discuss any current or future concerns you have about pests with your property management team. What is a pest? Well, it's something we don't want in our homes. The priority pests we talk about in housing are the German cockroach, mice and other rodents, and bed bugs. These are the pests that occur most frequently in our homes. They all reproduce very quickly and they're very good at hiding, and this makes them a challenge to eliminate. Pests aren't just gross, they can cause serious health and safety concerns. Pests like mice and cockroach can cause allergies and trigger asthma attacks. In some urban areas, mice and cockroaches are the top causes of asthma in children. Pests like mosquitoes and bed bugs and even rodents can bite us. They destroy our property, and you can see from the photo the wires are chewed by a rodent, and this can create a fire risk. And most importantly, they carry diseases that can make us sick by crawling on our food and dishes. Sprays alone won't work. Managing pests takes teamwork. The pest management professional or the exterminator confirms there's an infestation with an inspection. They fix or recommend fixing conditions that are causing the pests, and this is the only person who should be applying any chemicals in your home. They are licensed and have access to better products than you or me. The property manager's role may be to hire a pest control company, schedule visits, keep records, and oversee the contractor. They can also provide education and resources to residents when needed. The property manager is ultimately responsible for the time and resource allocation for pest control on the property. Today, we're going to focus on what your role is. Go over your lease and make sure you know what it says about pest control and housekeeping. Most leases require you to agree to let a pest management professional in. This may include regular inspections in addition to pest control treatments. Pesticides should be left to the professional. Pesticides can be an important part of a pest control program, but their use should be limited and care should be taken to limit exposing people. The risks associated with pesticides are not all about how toxic a product is, but about how likely you are to come in contact with it. For example, the rodenticide seen here in the bait box is highly toxic. It's made to kill mammals like us, but as long as it's used in a locked bait box, we will not be exposed. On the other end of the spectrum are bug bombs. The chemicals in these are considered safe enough for you and me to buy them at the hardware or grocery store, but when applied, they cover your whole house with a pesticide. Your floors, your counters, your couches, tables, rugs are all the places that you hang out, but the pests are tucked away safe and sound in their hiding spots. Another risk to consider is that someone could misuse a pesticide by applying it incorrectly. That's why we recommend leaving the chemical applications to a pest control professional. Another example are the sprays that you can buy for cockroaches and ants. If we spray our counters and floors, drawers, and cabinets, we expose ourselves to the chemicals, but bait stations, like the one pictured on the left, deliver the same poison directly to the target pest without exposing people. And better still, cockroaches and ants take the poison back to their friends and family and they share it. They do the work for us. Consider these two methods of delivering pesticides to cockroaches: a pesticide spray around the baseboards and in the cabinets, and the same chemical applied as a bait in tiny pea-sized drops put where the cockroaches are hiding. The application of the bait is safer and more effective because it takes the poison to the pests. It's also worth noting that seniors are more vulnerable to pesticide exposure and deserve consideration when considering pest control options. Despite the temptation to buy a product and start spraying, we ask that you don't try to self-treat. Sprays and bug bombs can actually make the problem worse. They scatter the bugs, push them deeper into cracks and crevices of your home, and even into a new room or your neighbor's home. They can also repel the bugs away from the products that the professional has applied, making them less effective. Finally, all bugs develop something called resistance. This means after a while, the chemicals we use just don't work as well as they used to, and we end up having to apply more or something else. Let's talk about specific pests and how to control them. The IPM, or integrated pest management methods I'm going to share, focus on prevention and non-chemical controls first. Let's start with mice. How do they get in the first place? Mice can get into a building by going through any opening they detect warm air or good smells through. Often this is the space under doors, between doors, and around utilities like pipes and wires that are not sealed. A mouse can fit through a hole the size of a dime, or even smaller if they're a juvenile, and rats can fit through a hole the size of a quarter or smaller if they're a juvenile. Doors should be sealed up with door sweeps. Here's an example of an outside door sealed with a rodent-proof door sweep. Once a mouse population is in a building, they can travel into homes through wall voids and along utility lines. The holes around pipes under sinks and our heating systems are common points of entry. These entryways can be sealed. Where do they hide? Once they're in our homes, they like to feel the heat. They live and build their nests near warmth and food. The stove is an ideal spot where both of their needs are met. The heating system also provides a cozy hideaway to raise a family. Don't forget to look under the top of the stove. Notice the top of the stove in this picture is very clean, but when we lifted it up, we found mouse droppings. This told us the mice were living in or near the stove and probably surviving on the few crumbs or drops this person missed. Pests aren't always in messy homes. They can infest clean homes too. We all can accidentally leave crumbs and drips around that feed a pest population. This is under a stove. Mice have pulled the insulation down out of the side of the stove to build a nest. The sticky trap and the spray foam are not helping here. The mice are already quite comfortable. So what do mice eat? Pretty much anything. Little crumbs we spill, our pet food if we're leaving it out at night, and they can even get into our snacks. What can we do about it? We can clean up crumbs and spills. We can store food in airtight containers. We can organize and remove unneeded belongings and clean up. We can take the trash and recycling out regularly so there's no food or water. And most importantly, we can report signs of mice to management, report droppings, holes, and nests, and we can also report the needed repairs. If you feel comfortable with it, set traps. More traps are better than one. The business side of the trap goes against the wall where you see the signs. Most of the time, that sign is poop. You can bait with peanut butter or chocolate syrup, or nesting material like cotton balls or floss. How do cockroaches get in? They can come in our groceries, especially if we're buying bulk food in cardboard boxes. They can come under our doors, especially if there's a nearby infestation in a trash chute or a neighbor's home. Or they can come through the wall voids from another apartment. They come out the pipe holes and other utility lines from other infested areas. Once they're inside, where do they hide? Well, they like to be in tight-fitting spaces, ideally wedged so their backs and bellies touch a surface. The cove-based molding provides a perfect home for a cockroach. They'll hide in out-of-the-way dark places, like inside this cabinet when we pulled out the drawer, but they always leave evidence behind. You can spot an infestation by finding their droppings or cockroach poop. What do cockroaches eat? Well, they can survive on almost anything. One drop of grease can feed up to 20 cockroaches for a day. So cleaning up as best we can is really important to cockroach control. Look at the gunk under this trash can. All these places where food accumulates are great places for cockroaches to find food. They can eat crumbs, grease, trash, cardboard glue. Just about anything is good to a cockroach. So what can we do? We can clean up spills and not leave food out. We can report leaks and holes under the sink. We can store our food in containers, reduce hiding spots, report signs or sightings, and we don't want to self-treat unless you're using traps like sticky traps and bait stations like you see here. Moving on to bed bugs. How do they get in? Bed bugs can come from a neighbor through the wall voids using the utility lines. You can bring them home when you bring home discarded or used furniture. Or when you're traveling or just sitting on a bus, sitting down for a long time or putting your bags down, sometimes you can get a hitchhiker. Once they're inside, where do they hide? Well, usually in upholstered furniture or soft furniture, most likely on a bed where people are sleeping. This is the little piece of plastic in the corner of a box spring. These are nymphs or baby bed bugs in the fibers of a mattress. They can be on our bed frames, even metal bed frames, recliners, the zipper of a couch cushion, even behind that cove base molding. And finally, once you have an advanced infestation, they can be anywhere in your belongings. This is why a professional inspection is so important. You have to find the bed bugs in order to treat them successfully. So what can we do? You can inspect your bed regularly. Don't use sprays or bug bombs. Vacuum your bed regularly and your bedroom. Don't bring discarded furniture into your home, no matter how nice it looks. Wash your bedding regularly. You can use traps like these homemade traps under your bed legs. You can put a mattress encasement on your mattress and your box spring. And you can store items in totes. Totes can keep bed bugs out of your belongings, or they can confine an item that has bed bugs in it. What can you expect from management? You can expect your building or development to quickly schedule pest control visits or repairs when you submit a report. Ask your building management how to submit a work order or a pest report. You can also expect them to seal the cracks and crevices where the pests are traveling through. Ask for help if you cannot comply with the pest control treatment preparation instructions. So let's review what we can do. It's important to report all pest and maintenance issues to management. Clean up, don't leave food or hiding places for the pests. You can vacuum as much as possible, and you can also clean up droppings. Cleaning doesn't just help with pest control, it removes allergens and irritants that can cause or trigger asthma. It kills germs and contaminants that cause illness, and it protects the little people and pets who spend most of their time at floor level. Thanks for doing your part to stop pests. Your efforts will make your home and building a safer and healthier place to live. If you have questions, talk to your property manager or resident services staff. To learn more about pests or integrated pest management, come visit us at stoppest.org. Thank you.